following. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, we come to you here at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
The Apple Dog and Pony is continuing ad nauseum. I've got my, at least my view of the first hour, which was a Snoresville on the watch. We'll talk about that a little bit today. Had a question about Waymo. We'll get into that a bit. And these new eSIMs in the cards that everybody says supposed to make Apple so much money. I'm not buying that. And a few other things. But you can always call me at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com or put a message in the den, and we'll try to get to it today. Of course, we had a big pop on news that yet there will be more meetings with China. That is kind of faded so far, and certainly if you look at the SMHs and the tech stocks, nothing seems to be getting any better. There may not be any resolution until we see the elections over in the first week of November. I think we still have, what, 60 days or something, or more, something like that. Maybe it was 55 days. Anyway, got a long time before that happens. Everybody's a little nervous. You know, we got some people running that are very, very, I'm going to say extremely left wing. And of course, I don't think you can find a time in history when the stock market went up for very long after that happened. Socialism, not good for the markets. Good for you if you're short, though. And I have a feeling that the market's kind of a little bit worried that that will happen. The resolution and the rest of it probably won't happen until the election. So we can continue looking at the market. It's kind of looking at half empty. I'm going to say not half full right now. And again, the pushes today, pretty much, I'm going to say I'm lethargic. I'm going to say that's what it is. Anyway, we're off 4 points on the S&P cash. Dow's off 8. NASDAQ's off 42. And again, the semis and that rest of that tech sector seem to be the weakest. We've described the reasons why I think there are problems. And, you know, we saw Apple kind of run up into last night. It's down a couple bucks. So far, the dog and pony has not delivered any kind of big thing with Apple, at least in the price range, or the market hasn't clapped. Of course, there's always that one last thing. And maybe they've got something that they've got hidden. But at least for the first hour, I'm going to make vicious fun of Apple. That'll probably be in the second half. I think anybody older than about 45 may remember a commercial. I'm going to play that commercial because that's exactly what the first hour sounded like for the iWatch. Other things going on around the world. I made a very good call this morning and then backed up on that call because I was about 15 minutes wrong in the timing. We're going to talk about how I think that puts things together in the market. So did I lose money? No. Did I not make money? Yes. And that's always one of the things where you think you got it right, and maybe you just didn't have the timing, things didn't work out, and you exited just a little soon. And that's what I did today. Nobody's perfect in the stock market, not even I. I have to always say to myself that I could be wrong. In fact, I'm probably a lot wronger if you looked at it as a batting average than a lot of people. But when I'm right, I make so much more money than other people. It vastly overwhelms just the straight batting average. Kind of like a home run hitter coming into October makes 2 or 3 more times the same that the guy with the same batting average he has, because of course a home run going to put somebody across the plate, and that's what matters. Same thing in the market. So you can have a few less wins and a lot more money. It's one way to look at it. That's from Fooled by Randomness by Nassim Taleb. In fact, I see a lot of people. I had to go out and have a business meeting at lunch, talk to somebody. They had somebody on, what was it, CNN, who apparently doesn't know much about weather and apparently knows little or nothing about statistics and, of course, randomness. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit today. As I've been doing most of the day in the Tiger's Den today, I've been saying if you want a real-time look at what the storm's doing, just look at GNRC, the generator company. They are the barometer for what's happening. And I think probably the best thing would be the description of what happens in, well, are we still there? I hope I am. Heard a little click, not sure. Man, now I've lost my train of thought with that happened. I was going to say, I've been told to leave Florida about 20 times. None of those times has anything of major event happened. What we did find out is that you lose your electricity a lot because people don't trim their trees back, especially the electric company. Everybody loves all the big trees. And of course, they're the first thing to fall on the power lines. Is there a lot of damage, at least in this area? The answer is no. But you should, in fact, it's a great passage in Nassim Taleb's book, Fooled by Randomness. He said that people really don't understand that you can be 10 or 20 times wrong. It's that one time that you're right that ends up being more like a scene from, oh God, now I'm trying to think of the movie, The Deer Hunter, playing a little bit of revolver madness. And that's it. And unfortunately, everybody will do or will tell everybody to leave to the point that they're wrong 20 times. And so everybody quits leaving and quits taking care of all the stuff they have. And that's why we kind of, every generation has some kind of big storm. But you know what? Almost always when everybody gets out of the way, it always moves somewhere else at the last minute. And I think a little people, I think especially people on TV could stand to go back to school and spend a little time and understand chaos theory. So anyway, I got that off my chest. We'll get into some other things, a little bit of history. We'll get into ribbing Apple for a product that was around in the 90s. But it seems like the product that they have today is excellent.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Already did that. I got to do this one.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating, and on this day in 1940, near, I'm not sure, I did take high school French, Montiac, France. I've been there. A collection of prehistoric cave paintings are discovered by 4 teenagers who stumbled upon the ancient artwork after following their dog down a narrow entrance into the cavern. The 15 to 17,000-year-old paintings consisted mostly of animal representation and are among the first examples of art from the Upper Paleolithic period. But a lot of people only think we've been around 7,000 or 8,000, 9,000 years. And shows that people were living together in communities longer than that. And I think someone's found some humans that are 100,000 years old. The thing is that we always think we know it all, and then another piece of evidence comes along and kind of changes that. We continue to find a lot of people that we didn't think were around. Just, I guess just not to have too much hubris about what's going on. That's kind of it for that. I did want to start talking about Apple fairly quickly, and then we're going to answer a question about Waymo, and then we've got a couple more questions in the email hopper. Apple spent the first hour of their dog and pony showing off the new iWatch, and there was one commercial that made me think of the entire first hour, and I will play a little bit of it and see how many people of you remember this one.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yes, the iWatch is the new pendant, which will sit there and watch your blood pressure and your heart rate, and if you've fallen, it'll call somebody. So it is a, I don't know what, a $400 or $450 version of Life Alert. That commercial first ran in 1989. And of course, soon was, before there were memes on the internet, was certainly a meme on late night comedy shows on television and many others. But literally all the features can be wrapped up into, it sounds like they're trying to sell it to people that are about halfway, or or as we call it in Florida, down here in God's waiting room, certainly don't sound like a lot of things that healthy people would want. So maybe it is a $450 life alert pendant. But I looked through the rest of the stuff. Nice slick ads. Didn't seem to do much to the price of Apple at the time. And again, we're off what, $2.50 on Apple. Apple's short position in absolute dollars, not in percentage, but absolute dollars, is about 10 or 20% higher than the next highly shorted stock, which is Tesla, which will give you an indication of how bearish people are on Wall Street. This isn't your mom and pop guy shorting Apple with this kind of money. Same thing on Tesla. A lot of those folks have been around for a long time. They're pretty good at ferreting out what works and what does not work in that. I haven't had a good chance to watch this hour so far. I'll try to check it during the next break and see if anything's going on. There were some leaks that I got to read about the new phone, and it just seems like I'm going to say Wall Street's going to look at it this way. There are too many phones with too many price points, and it's just confusing. I think that's what it's going to be at the very end of the day. And maybe they come out with something at the very end of their show that is different. But right now, kind of nearing close to $3 off, and never a good thing for Apple to do that. Now, maybe they got something, like I said, that's new, but that isn't it. I don't have a chart for them because they're not a public company yet. But I did also see something this week about driverless cars, and I could only laugh. I think I saw this last Wednesday, and I grabbed this little audio clip. It's from an AP report in 1962.
Look, no hands, and no driver for that matter. Scientists assure us that it's the shape of things to come in highway travel. It's all done by computerized electronic impulses relayed to the car through a special receiving unit fixed to the front. Signals picked up from the inlaid track are interpreted by the unit to change the car's course or its speed. It may seem a bit of a pipe dream at the moment, but researchers say that robot cars may well be in everyday use within 30 years.
Well, that was from 1962. And it was pretty interesting because they had this, if you would have seen the video, they had this guy sitting in the back of the car and the car driving around. They had this thing that was, I'm going to say, a little bigger than the size of a room air conditioner, bolted to the front bumper of this car, and it was using some kind of radar and everything else. The reason I'm bringing this up is because of Waymo, questions about it. Some people, I think even the Waymo people, are saying the company's worth $160 billion today because of the stuff that they have. I will give you a warning. One, if it's worth $160 billion already, there's probably no money to be made. I don't believe it is. The second is that there is a huge issue before these driverless cars ever hit the street. I will tell you that people around where these things are being tested hate them with a passion. They're always stopping. They're always waiting. If you're trying to get to work on time and you see one of these things, I think the first impulse for me would be to ram it and run it off the road. Hopefully there's nobody in it. But certainly these people or those cars are not in any kind of hurry to get anywhere while everybody else is. And I think, you know, if you were drunk at 2 a.m. in the morning, would a driverless car be interesting? Probably. If you're late to work, I can tell you, I walk my dogs 3-4 miles every morning. And even in crosswalks, and with people seeing me, they have to make a decision whether they're going to kill me or not to get to work on time. If we can also think about all the issues that we've seen out this summer, where a driverless car ran over somebody, where we've had Teslas run into the side of trucks that were painted black. These are called, in software, called edge cases. In aviation, they call it a tombstone mentality. And that is that for every tombstone, you get a little better plane in the industry. And you're going to have a lot of tombstones in this thing. There's a whole lot of issues with whether or not these folks that sell the stuff are going to be liable for any accidents that happen while you're in the car. Will you be liable for it? Will they? Certainly where this stuff is being made, like California, they're making it very easy for these folks to escape any kind of liability. And the other 48 states are not as easy. So I'm going to tell you that no matter how good the stuff is today, it's probably still a long ways away. And as the 1962 AP report said, in 30 years, we're supposed to have driverless cars. Well, long time in the rear view. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of the Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And I checked on what was going on at Apple during the break. Nothing exciting. Again, they're playing right around 221. Looking at the charts and what I think is a very tired Apple, I don't believe that, well, let me put it this way. I would suspect that Apple is on its way back to around 205, maybe as far as 200, and it's going to happen over the next few weeks. So, no, I can't really be bullish anything right now. Apple is a big enough weighting in the NASDAQ to create headaches for people for a while. I also continue to watch for options. Of course, today is the day that everybody goes options delta neutral. so I'll have a lot better data tomorrow. But again, there's a handful of stocks, Tesla, Apple, that everybody's shorting, or a lot of people are shorting. And the rest of the market, people are incredibly, I'll say at a scale that occasionally happens every 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer, complacent about the possibility of lower prices. And generally, when you're complacent, that's when you get the boot to your rear end in the stock market. I am not long. I don't think I can be long. There was the one thing I was going to be long this morning. It was part of my thesis out here, and we'll talk about that, I guess, now. Needed to talk about eSIMs first, and then I guess we had a couple more things I need to get to, and then we'll soldier on. What is it at here? eSIMs, they've kind of already had them already. There's no big money to be made in them. You know, I can buy a SIM card for 25 cents. So I'm confused as to why this is a huge moneymaker. I've read the articles. It seems a lot of people are pushing a couple of companies. I think there's a couple of reasons why people want eSIMs, and that is that it would theoretically make a smaller phone and make a water resistant phone easier. But does it make anybody a bunch of money? I have yet to see any argument that actually would hold water for that. So, yeah, it makes it a little easier for people like Verizon and T-Mobile to keep people literally in the boat, because it makes it harder to change and go from different place. So would they pay a little bit more to make sure you couldn't use that phone on some other network? I think the answer is yes. Are they going to pay a lot to do it? I think if you could listen in the boardroom, you'd hear a big hell no. So I don't think it's that big a technology. There's phones with multiple SIMs. There's phones that I've had that had non-replaceable SIMs. So there's just not a whole lot into it. I think that was kind of a big PR push yesterday by some that probably were interested in selling Apple into the push yesterday. Okay, so I think that gets us all going on. I don't know if it's illegal or not. It may be in California. They've got a lot of different laws. I just don't think the eSIM thing is a big deal. It may be to users. I just don't see how anybody makes any money on it. So for me, half full, half empty, who knows? I just don't see the money in it. Okay, what else do we have going on here? Had a question. And I'm not exactly sure how to answer it. I think we've got all the other ones out of the way. You can still email me at path@tfnn.com. We'll take a look at some of these others. Wanted to see. Oh, I know what it was. My mistake that wasn't a mistake this morning. So we'll take a look at that. I had a theory, and it's kind of playing out today so far, and that was that we were at a break point, and that break point meant that as the markets started to get weak here, people always try to find somewhere else to put their money. My thought was this morning that it would be in China. So I bought yen this morning, and I bought it at about the right time as it was pulling back. But the first movement, i.e. when the stock market started, both the NASDAQ and the NYSE started to pull back, nobody was flooding in to the yen, YINN. I thought, wow, I mean, this actually looked fairly good. In fact, actually, it's not a bad looking chart. I dislike the fact that the energy was less coming off this last high at 25.90 It was still less, which has not been something for a while in this. Tested the $19.96 low back on August 15th. It had 3.5 million shares yesterday with 1.75 million shares. So I thought, okay, that money's going to come out. And of course, it didn't really do much until the trade deal. And then, of course, this thing rocketed it up. But I didn't like the way it was acting, so I got out. So I missed a buck on the way up on a $20 stock. Not the end of the world, but at the same time, I do suspect this has held up significantly better than the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. So I would be watching very closely that the rotation in this market is not into something else in the United States until probably after the elections. It could be into China and other markets until it's a little easier to see what's going to happen politically here in the United States. Even with the S&P coming off of the highs at about what, 28.93, I think I saw it 23.94. Yen has held fairly tight, and I suspect that a lot of people are going to be looking for a safe harbor in the China stocks. The chart doesn't look fairly good at the low, or at least better than everything else. The move out here today, so far you've got 3.4 million shares. That is more than the August 15th low. So keep an eye on those China stocks. It may just be the rotation. I do believe that Joe Granville's story of everybody running to the back of the Titanic, and that is that if the market's going down, eventually everything goes down, including China. But at least for an initial test down here at the low, that is it. You can give me, again, do we have any more out here? That'd be it. Got questions in the den. Yeah, I will take the opposite opinion on that. Okay, okay, I understand the issue. Will phones still be able to be locked? And the answer is yes, from a question. If you sign up for a 2-year contract, you will still have to go through that 2-year contract before your phone can be unlocked and put on another network. I think that's about it. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Question about GNRC, which, as I said at the very beginning of the show, is kind of the real-time discovery mechanism for what's happening in the storm. You want to kind of watch that. It certainly, if you're an intraday trader and you know what's going on and can read the weather report, well, probably better than the average Joe. You can make some money on it. This got to about 61 bucks. What was it, yesterday? It's off about $1.58. It looks like the level 4 hurricane is going to go to a level 3. It's kind of interesting because it is it's not somebody's opinion. It's actually money changing hands. Kind of always an interesting thing to see real-time market forces tell you what's going on in the world. Are they going to have a problem? Yes. Question is what? And like I said, generally when everybody's prepared, that's when it goes up the coast. It does that a few times and then really slams, folks. What else we have on the list out here? Somebody asking me about AMAT. We talked about AMAT coming back into these lows, I think, on Monday. And here's the gap that we're looking at. So you're at this long-term up move from AMAT. This is goes back to April 19th, 2017. It came up on 13.4 million shares. So we really want to be watching what we have today. And so far, you got about 12 million shares. So not a good sign out here on AMAT. Will you bounce? Maybe. I think that there is an opportunity. But again, at least my opinion is that there was a lot of money spent on small diameter, or not small diameter, small die sizes. And a lot of that money is just going to go to waste. People are not producing them because, of course, it's hard to produce them, and the yield or the bads outweigh the goods in actually making these things work, and it's been problematic. So Applied Materials, of course, they're the company that sells all the little naughty bits that go and help manufacture these chips. And the fact that most people are just saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to stick with the stuff that's, maybe it's a couple of years old, but our yields are 99% on it, and our yields on this other stuff are 60 or 70%. It's just not good enough for it. Taiwan Semiconductor looking very good. But again, I think they're kind of, I mean, if you're gonna get something built in volume, you really don't have anywhere else to go. They are close to a monopoly with only Global Foundries a second. And of course, those guys have never really turned around that company enough to get it back public again. It was one time public. But if you were looking for some level of finding a bottom in some of these that are in the supply chain of these stocks, it's down at this low. Now, the one thing that you would want to look for is some kind of big move in Apple or some of the other ones that are in the biggest part of this market. Let's take a look at SWS, which is Skyworks Solutions, a big supplier to Apple. This one is coming back to its gap. You'd want to look at this thing at about $80, which is about halfway in this major gap. And that gap goes back to January 20th of 2017. So we're what, a year and a half down the road, or a little bit more than a year and a half down the road in Skyworks Solutions gap. That gap came up on 15.8 million shares. So again, nice at about $80. What do we have for volume yesterday? Okay, yesterday you had 2.9 million shares. You got 1.5 here. So again, some of these are probably coming back in to some lows, but I think that these are kind of were the weakest stocks, and we're probably going to see a little bit more problems from the NASDAQ and the other stocks that have been the big leaders. And of course, got a question about that. Okay. Got an email. How much was my sim? I think I paid $1 for it, and T-Mobile sent it to me. So again, that's if the sims were $50, maybe it was a bigger deal. Again, I think the whole eSIM thing is about making a smaller phone for one reason, and two, waterproofing, because you can get it inside the case. Anything you don't have to slide into the case or make an opening for is a big deal. So I think you can make a case for it on that. But yeah, I think I spent $1 when I decided to move carriers, and I think I bought it for $1 on T-Mobile, and they shipped it to me. I plugged it in and it worked. So there wasn't a big thing on that. Okay, want to look at some other stocks out here. YUMC, which we talked about. I wanted to see how this one did. We were looking for this thing to come back. It got into the gap on its gap, which goes back to April 6th of 2017. So we are filling a lot of these gaps, or getting at least close to them out here. Now, I did that yesterday with fairly light volume. You're up a little bit out here today. You spiked $30.10, which is right in there. But again, I think a lot of these things are no touchy until we get a lot of the other issues handled. Was there something else I wanted to look in here? Got a question on gold miners. As I said, these things did look fairly good when we looked at them yesterday. They had gotten back. Now, if you want to make a case for gold miners, like I said yesterday, I'd much rather be long the gold than the miners. But the December 20th low in 2016 was $27.36 with 24 million shares. Now we went the last 3 or 4 days down on 16 million, 12 million. Yesterday we had 15 million shares. Now you're up today on about 12.7 million shares. So you're at least in this support range. So if you wanted to take a shot at it, doesn't look that bad. I do like the fact that you did have a nice, long, excruciating pullback off the January 24th high of this year, back down to this low. That's the kind of things that ring out the weakest hands. And, anytime you close below something on significantly lighter volume, which is 24 million to 15 million, and then you pop back into the trading range, it is an opportunity for a trade. Maybe that tells you a little bit also that it popped back into the trading range, that you might want to worry a little bit more about the general markets, i.e. the NASDAQ and the S&P, I guess the New York Stock Exchange too. So that would be it. What else do we have? Look at the GDX itself. We'll do that when we come back, wrap up the show. You still got plenty of time to send me an email or get a phone call in at 877-927-6648.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we'll look at GDX, kind of the same thing. 56 million shares back on December 20th, 2016. You broke through these things on fairly light volume. You're back close to the trading range. What do you need? 1840. What are we at here now? 1824. So you need a little bit more in the GDX to get back into the trading range. Again, I'm much more interested in probably getting into gold, the metal, and also much more interested in a market, the general markets going sideways, let's say in the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, than a market that I think is for sale now. Doesn't mean you can't make money in gold. I just think that the big money in gold will be if the market goes sideways for a while. And I'm rather bearish at the moment, even though the market has not pulled back. We're at 28.85 on the S&P cash, off 2 points. Dow's off 4, and the Nasdaq's off 38. Apple did finish its dog and pony show a few minutes ago. I went through everything. There just isn't much of there to say. And as I said earlier in the show, I'm going to label this I've fallen and can't get up iWatch show.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
And maybe the price of Apple has fallen. It can't get up. It certainly looks to me, from looking at the options and looking at the charts, in Apple too, that certainly we could get back before a week from Friday. Yeah, the next 7 trading days, back around that 205 area. There are enough shorts out there to make you worried about it. Does it have to happen? No. But I'm playing options on that, and we'll see how that works out. I tend to make a lot of money on my options when I'm right and lose a little when I'm wrong. So we'll continue on that. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.